Hi, hello, hi, and welcome to All Our Hearts and Minds. Thank you again for tuning in. We're here to discuss all things that have been on our hearts and minds, the good and the bad, the concerning and uplifting, or just straight talk. We're your hosts, Kimmy, our passionate heart,
Yeah.
and then there's me, Jeanette, our mind and chronic overthinker. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Okay, today, guys, we're back again with a new episode. We have a lot to talk about.
Yay.
It's Caribana in Toronto. We're going to touch
Big,
on
big
Deion
Caribana.
Sanders. There's a couple of RIPs. We're going to talk about
Mm-hmm.
the wrap of Beyonce's concert, some of Nicki's craziness, and some
Yes.
uplifting things with our boy, or not, I should not be our boy, Uncle Busta Rhymes. So we're going to be talking about that in the show this week. Um, Before we do anything, we're back again, fresh. I have to ask my friend, how are you, friend?
I'm okay, my dear. I'm okay. But this past week was like a real full week since I've been back from my
Yeah, your
vacation.
vacation, yeah.
And it's just like, my gosh, it's like it's a punishment. You come back and it's like, I was only gone for a week. Like, calm down. But overall, it was a good transition week, like coming back into the swing of things. And, being off was nice too. And this past week, it was really busy because you're trying to
Mm.
play catch up. But for the most part, the weather was nice and I can't complain. We're on a long weekend. I mean, from vacation to long weekends. Like, it's been a good week. How about you, girl? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We are recording on a long weekend, so
Mm-hmm.
I took an extra day or two to kind of extend my long weekend. So just give myself a little break, so that's good. So taking care of
Yep,
my mental health, giving myself a
that's
little
right.
break. I was feeling a little bit of tinges of burnout happening,
Right?
so that was good. So I had a really good week so far. I went today, we're recording on Saturday. I went downtown. I have a family member visiting, so I took them down to see the parade.
Yes. Big, big Carabana.
Big
Yeah.
big Caribana in Toronto. So yeah, overall I'm feeling, I'll say I'm seeing pretty good. Not amazing, but I'm feeling pretty good, all things considered. Yeah. So sounds like our
Yes.
checkup. We passed the checkup. We're doing good. We're feeling good.
Yeah. And
So
the
that's
sunshine
amazing.
never hurt nobody, giving me
No,
another,
never hurt nobody.
yeah, I love me some, sunshine. It gives you a new perspective and makes you appreciate a little bit more, So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's been a good time so far. Mhm.
Okay, so thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Before we jump into our headline, just want to ask if you're still listening to continue to rate and review the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Comment, like, subscribe, download, whatever. Your engagement helps the podcast. So thanks again for tuning in.
Yes.
All
Thanks for
right.
the
So first thing we have to talk about, we're in Toronto, one of the biggest weekends in Toronto, which
Yep.
is Caribana weekend, and we are both of Caribbean background.
Yep.
So of course we have to talk about Caribana in Toronto.
Yep. Yep.
And it's you always the first week of August, the long weekend. We have a long weekend in Canada, and we call it a civic holiday. It's not really celebrating anything in particular, but we just
Right.
call it like a summer long weekend.
Right.
And Caribana is always on this long weekend on this Saturday, and there's lots of events in the weeks leading up to it in the city.
Yep.
But the
Yep.
parade is like the big hurrah, last
Mhm.
hurrah of all the Caribbean activities
Mhm.
happening in the city.
Yep.
So
Yep.
just a little bit of history,
Yep.
just a little, because we're talking about Caribana, and some of our listeners, maybe they're not from here, or even if you're from here, you're a young person, you don't know really where it comes from. You
Mhm.
just want to go jump up, but you don't know the
Right?
context of Caribana in Toronto.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's well, now, I mean, the name has changed, but it's always going to be Caribana. I think it's officially called the Toronto Caribbean Carnival, but we
Yeah.
don't over here. We don't call it that. It's
It's
Caribana.
Caribana, everybody. Stop
Started
the
as
nonsense.
Caribana, and we're gonna
Please.
keep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
the largest festival of its kind in North America, and it started. The first one happened in 1967. It was a one-time event to celebrate Canada's centennial.
Yep.
It was a huge celebration of Caribbean culture, music, food, arts, dance. Um, and it was also a great parade to
Yep.
highlight. It also coincides with Emancipation Day, which is
Yep.
August 1st.
Yep.
And that's also Jamaica's Jamaica's Independence Day as well. So there's a lot of history around Emancipation Day around the
Mm-hmm.
world,
Yep.
particularly again Emancipation Day, which we talked about here before,
Yep.
is it commemorates the abolition of slavery
Mm-hmm.
in the British Empire and all its colonies in 1834.
Yep.
So it
Yep.
has a lot of cultural significance. This
Sure
August 1st
does.
date.
Sure does. It means a lot.
It actually started, I believe, on Yonge Street. It's moved
Yes.
around. Even today, I went. I feel like they did some more. They did some more. I feel like they did some more changes, to be honest. But
Oh
it was on
gosh.
Young Street, and then even when I was doing my research, it was also on University Street at one point.
Yes. Yes.
But now, in modern times, it's usually on
Yep.
Lakeshore West. Some version of that, somewhere in that area, it
Right.
is that's where the parade takes place. So that's the history. Every year, when we're young, as we talked about this on the show.
Yep.
When we were young people, teenagers, it was a big thing. You wanted to go with your
Yep.
friends, meet boys, dance, look cute, put on
Right.
a costume, maybe.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
just like it was a big social thing. It was a whole thing. It was a whole ordeal. The whole
Right.
weekend. And when we were old enough to go out,
Right.
the money I was telling my family member today, the money I used to spend when I was young and I cared about Caribana,
Yo, as soon as
that was
this
at
summer
least
hit,
$300. And this time, just I was a kid. Like I wasn't really working like
right?
that. I was like still
Right?
young. I was in university. I was in university or maybe just post university, and I didn't have money like that to be throwing away money for like partying.
Right, right. For me, as a teenager, as soon as the summer started, you started saving your little money so that you could put together your outfit for Caribana. You'd buying outfit for Caribana 2 weeks, 3 weeks, almost a month out. You know what hairstyle you're gonna like. It was a big to do. It was a big to do. And you know what? Culturally, like when I was a kid, there was a lot of culture. And I got
Hmm.
to see parts of where my parents came from,
Hmm.
seeing that they came from the West Indies, and it was a family affair, like really and truly it was a family affair, and it was a big deal for a lot of West Indian people here in Canada. Near and wide would come to this festival. So it's really nice to see that they have carried it on. I will be honest, it kind of changed when the government started to have their hand in it.
Hmm.
However, it's still going on strong. People
Yeah.
come, it's an international festival, if you ask me, because
Yeah,
people
it
are
is.
coming
Yeah.
from near, far, and wide to attend the carnival. And it is a good place to still also showcase some of the cultural items, that you would find maybe in a market in the West Indies. Here you do see
Hmm.
some of it. Here there is some of it, it's just not emphasized the way
Hmm.
that it used to be. um, but all in all, I haven't been to Caribana in a very long time.
Hmm.
I know that you went, and
Yeah.
I remember back in the day spending a whole heaps of money. Okay, like I was just. I remember once, one year, I was like maybe 19, 20. We rented a hotel room downtown Toronto. We live in Toronto though, people. Like we live maybe an hour away, and we think we're balling out of control about getting hotel downtown, our whole downtown. Let me tell you, it's a lot of money, and it's really only one weekend. So, try to keep it minimal and really enjoy the festivities,
Yeah.
not the fashion show of it all. Because
Mhm.
when I tell you Caribana is a fashion show, right down to the vehicles, okay?
Yeah.
You'll see them driving up and down on Young Street because now Young Street, everybody for some particular reason the Friday before wants to walk up and down the street. And that's where all the cars come out and
Yeah.
you
Do they
know,
still do that? I guess.
yeah, they still do that. It's not
Mm.
like it used to be either. I think some
Mhm.
people have kind of gotten over that, and gas
Yeah.
prices are too high to be doing all of that.
Mhm.
But for the most part, I think it still does exist because the last time I heard, which was a few years ago, my niece went with her friend.
Okay, she went on Young Street. Yeah.
Yeah, she was. Uh, it's anyway, and she's like, yeah, you just people talk to each other. This is where you hook up. This is where you get
Yeah, exactly. That's a
people,
pre-hookup.
right? It's pre hookup, right? But really, the whole weekend is a hookup,
Really?
right?
Yeah,
The
technically,
whole
yes.
weekend,
You have
right?
the whole weekend to connect, to hook up.
Yes. So, how did the family member like and appreciate
Well,
the
yeah, she's a little
festivities?
bit older. I would say she's in her early 50s, so she's not, not that. I mean, a woman in her early 50s could be with the shits too, but
Right? Okay.
I think
Nowadays, I don't
she
know.
thought it was pretty cool. She got to take some
Oh,
pictures
that's
with
good.
some of the masqueraders,
Because
and
that's the nice part. That's what I like to see.
yeah.
The people playing mass and their
Yeah, the beautiful
costumes and
costumes, the
yes,
detail that goes into it, like, and I didn't talk about this, but like anybody listening who's not familiar, like, this is not just a come and dance and look cute type of celebration.
no,
Carnival, at least, okay, this one, Caribana, is rooted. There's lots of in the Caribbean. There's lots of carnivals, but this one I think is really fashioned after Trinidad's
yes,
carnival,
yes,
and with Trinidad's carnival, which I do think all the other Caribbean ones are kind of rooted, even if it's not the same time or
mm-hmm.
different names, they all kind of come down to the slave owners or the slaves in the Caribbean when they were colonized, or there was still slavery in those places and they were run by Europe, and they were working sugar crops,
Mm-hmm.
tobacco crops, whatever crops that they were trying to take from these islands. There was a time, whatever that time. So in Trinidad, it was before Easter.
Yeah, yeah,
So leading up to Easter, before Lent,
yeah,
it's like we have Ash Wednesday, that week where there's Ash Wednesday, Pancake Tuesday. It's not
mm-hmm.
Pancake Tuesday, but
Yeah,
whatever the Tuesday is. That's when all of this is happening. So it's kind of like you're gonna get all your worldly sins out of your system
yep,
before you
mm-hmm.
go on Lent, leading up into Easter.
Right,
And
right,
this is when the slave owners would let the um slaves, because I'm pretty sure maybe they have their own version of it. I don't know what they did in the European side, the
mm-hmm.
slave owner European side of things. But it was like, okay, you guys do your thing. You, that if you have your African thing, your whatever thing, go and do your bacchanal, as we call
Right,
it,
yep,
and then we're going to get ourselves ready for Lent leading into Easter. So
right, yep,
that's the roots of it in Trinidad. And it's so funny when I hear other Caribbean cultures, it always had to do with, there was a time when the slave owners said, okay, y'all get a little break. So like if you think about Barbados or crop over,
yep,
I think
yep,
it has a lot to do with, it's like the season is like almost over if they have a good yield. So they're like, as a reward, they can go have
mm-hmm.
a party and celebrate and
Right,
like do their own thing.
yeah,
So yeah, so that's kind of the roots of it, and then
yeah,
and Carabana's fashioned after
yes, yes,
after
it
it, and
is.
so that's when you see people in costumes. They call it masquerade, and the masquerade is when you're doing your bacchanal, like you're doing all your getting rid of, acting out all the worldly sins of the world, whether it's fornication, drinking, all these things, and it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like getting it out of your system
Yep, yep,
before you have to be very holy.
right. And go back to
So
the
yeah, so that's kind of where it all comes from. So there
go
is,
back to
it
the
is,
fields. Yeah.
Gimme.
No,
um,
because it was just the master's way of cutting you some slack for a couple
yeah.
days.
Okay, had a little hiccup there, but we're back. So basically, we were just ending up our discussion on Carabana. I went. It was
Hmm.
good. I think it's changed a lot. I think it was very controlled. There's a lot of police presence. It felt very safe, to be honest. They had some double fences. Obviously, they've been every year they try to do a lot of crowd control. I
Mhm.
think this is the one time where they actually did a really good job. So yeah, so again, congrats to everybody who participated, who's an organizer for another year of Caribana and bringing in all
Yeah.
the tourists and a lot of money for the city.
Yep, yep. Tourism and everything. Yep.
Everything.
Hospitality. Yep, they're having a good old funky time.
So we'll move on to our next story, which is Deion Sanders released a digital documentary. I don't know if it was streaming, but I just know I saw the clips on YouTube talking about his battle with bladder cancer. I think there was rumors that obviously like people noticed he wasn't looking healthy, but nobody really I don't think he really knew 100%, like they didn't go public with um
Right.
the the fact that he was battling bladder cancer until I guess after when they release this documentary which is called For Your Glory,
Right.
and it's
Mhm. Mhm.
documenting I guess his
His journey, his life.
journey in
Yeah,
terms
his
of
football.
healing and treatment and all and post treatment and all of that, which is I think good for other people who are going through similar journeys. But I think what unfortunately what people have been focused on is Karrueche Tran, Chris
Yep.
Brown's ex-girlfriend.
The same one that put a restraining on order on him for 5 years. That one.
Yes,
Mhm.
she
It's just
was in
pathetic.
the documentary and she was just talking about we this, we that,
Oh, we
we
and
did the
we.
treatment, we went through, and everybody's like, wait,
We're
hold on a
friends
minute.
now.
Are
Mhm.
they an item? Are they dating?
Oh my gosh,
So this was a
crazy.
crazy, as people are saying, I've heard other like internet personalities, this was a crazy hard launch because they talk about when you talk about your relationship or your partner on Instagram, it's kind of like that's you launching your relationship, right? So they decided to launch their relationship on his documentary about battling bladder cancer.
It's
Interesting.
actually genius. It's actually genius. It is because you're not going to feel sorry for the guy that has the bladder cancer,
Hmm.
right? Or you're not going to feel like, oh, he's such a dog. He's got this
No,
younger girl,
no,
and
we're not going to think that because
nobody's
yeah.
going to think that because the man has bladder cancer, right?
Hmm.
Um, but if I were Karuchi Tran, I don't know if I want to be introduced like that. I
Right.
don't know, you know, because for me, it could have, I don't know. People could say a lot about the woman because he's
Yes.
sick, right?
Mhm.
So, and he's wealthy,
Mhm.
and Karuchi Tran is not.
Which I must say, I don't know if it's a colorist thing, but I'm surprised that the narrative isn't necessarily literally it could have potentially been like, okay, this younger woman is poaching off an older man who's in his latter days, and now he's not that old, but he has some terminal illnesses, so
Yeah,
it's going to affect your longevity in life. I mean, thank God it looks like he's beating it, but unfortunately, just it's a big it will cut your lifetime. Let's just put it that way. Like hands down, it will cut your lifetime. A cancer diagnosis, whether you beat it or not, will cut into your lifetime.
yeah.
I think that's wrong of me to say. I don't know.
Not
Correct me.
really, but it's not going to give you more days. It's not going to get extend your life. It definitely limits how long you can live for.
Yeah,
Even if you survive it,
you can
even if you
survive it, but
survive it, right?
unfortunately, the trend. Yeah, like usually, unfortunately, if it manifests in your body somewhere, especially this particular cancer that he has, which is bladder, which is a soft tissue organ, that usually tends to be the trend with soft tissue organ cancers, is they do tend to spread to the other soft tissue organs just because they're
That's
all
right.
connected. So anyway, thank God he beat it, but
Yeah,
I think the downside is a lot of people were focused on the fact that Crucci hard launched their relationship
yeah,
on this documentary. And I mean there's no right time. I mean woman, if that's his woman and they're battling and she's supporting him in his, going through this a really tough time, it makes sense, but it was shocking. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what? This makes no sense. This make how what like what?
This is
I'm
I
gonna be
don't think
honest.
that's
If
the
I take,
time. That's not the
I mean,
time. Like,
I think I understand that she's being a loving partner, blah 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 blah. But also, I'm like,
yeah, but this is when you
what?
find out that you are a partner? Wow, okay. I mean, again, I think it's brilliant because you're not going to focus so much on the fact that they're, well, at least I think they expected that. That
Mhm.
people were not going to focus on the fact they were in a relationship and
It
that
was jarring.
this is the soft launch of your relationship. Okay. But, they're going to focus more on the fact, well, or they'll give more of a blie, like, oh,
Yeah,
they're in love
yeah. Because at the end of the day, it makes sense that
and he's
whoever
dying
he's
or he's battling this or he didn't die. But I'm saying
no, yeah.
this is the logic, right? And I think that they were counting on that, but it kind of turned left because
It felt like it
Karuchi
came out of
girl,
left field. It just felt like it. I was like, what?
Karuchi, you need to go sit down and heal your damn self, girl. You need to go sit
Mm,
down and heal your damn self because it's nice that they are, you know, coming out to the public, whatever, I guess,
mm,
that they
mm,
are in a relationship. That's great, right?
mm,
But for Karuchi Tran and her history, I never think that she really got the help that she needed after Chris Brown. I
mm,
really think that she was kind of broken when she met Chris Brown.
mm,
He broke her even more.
mm.
And then she was left with either you or me. Either you can go on beating me and maybe even take my life one day, or I'm going to live for myself. But I think she needs some healing still because I don't know why. This is going to sound real hard out here, people.
Mm-mm.
And I don't give a damn. I'm going to call it I'm going to call it what it is. Why are you such a young woman still in the prime of your
She's still in
life,
her prime, I'd say. Yeah,
right? Taking up a man that has cancer. First, second, he's an older guy. Even if he didn't have cancer, even if he never had cancer, he's
but he
still an
also
older
had his
man.
toes cut off in 10 years ago. He had to get his toes cut off.
Like, so, and like Deion Sanders, like, don't get me wrong, he's a personality, right?
Oh
Like
yeah,
he
for sure. Yeah,
he
he has
he
charisma. He has
he has
charisma.
a
Yeah.
lot of charisma, and you wouldn't think, even with all the gray hair,
He look. Yeah, I
okay,
think he's attractive.
he's
He's
an
not ugly.
attractive man. He has charisma. He's very likable. People like him,
Mm-hmm.
and but I just feel like Karuchi, maybe there's something we don't know, right? I'm hoping that there's something that we don't know and we can't see. But Karuchi, I think you need to go back to the drawing board, girl. I think you need to stop trying to find damaged men that you think you could fix because you can't. You can't. They are who they are, or they're going through what they're going through. I think you should try to find somebody that, has more longevity in life.
Yeah, she's yeah.
If
So
she wants to have a child, he's 50 odd years old. Okay, he's not fixing to have no more babies right now, aka Ashanti and Nelly. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. But anyhow,
mm,
I mean, Ashanti's still, she's like, closer to his age, but I'm
yeah,
just saying that Karuchi, you have to think, because it always seemed like she wanted to have her own family, she wanted to be married, and she has neither of those. And that's fine. However, I don't know if we should be picking up the guy
not the guy who's already lived most of his life, had
and
his
who has the
children,
cancer, who's
and
going
has
through
on top
radiation
of that has
treatment.
cancer.
I
Yeah,
don't
soft
know.
tissue cancer at that. Like,
You know, I don't know, Karuchi
yeah.
girl.
Well, we'll see where this goes. I mean, like at the end of the day, when people that's big people is your relationship, but
Yes,
as an
please.
outsider, it doesn't for her as a young woman who's very has a high, like a lot of people love her. I think she has no problem finding somebody to date. So why not find somebody a little bit closer to her age and actually healthy? Like I'm just saying,
And
if
even
he,
if she wanted
there's nothing wrong with that, but this
no, there
guy,
isn't. But he needs to have a lot of life in him left.
yes, 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 yes.
And not to say Deion Sanders doesn't.
Does
I
it?
just
Yeah.
think that right now he's going through a really hard time
Yeah.
where the life that he once had is being drained from him.
Yeah.
She needs a guy who doesn't have to be her age, but still
Mm,
has a lot of spunk, a lot, seems very young.
mhm,
She's very, look at her.
mm,
She seems very young,
mhm,
even though she's 36 years old.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? She seems like she has a lot of life in her.
Of
So I
course.
don't know. Karrueche, good for you, girl. But that wasn't the, I don't know. But you know what? Then again, they could probably just say, we don't care how we let the world know.
Yeah, and hey, I'm all for that. I'm just saying, as an outside, as a woman looking in, if she was my friend,
Yep.
I would have been like, "Girl, you sure about this?"
Girl, girl.
That's all I'm saying.
Did
Do
you
what you
think
want to
about it?
do, love who you want to love, but girl,
Girl, did you think about it good though?
yeah, that's it. That's all I'm saying. All right, so we'll move on from that. So in between our headlines, we want to stop and pause to give
Yes.
acknowledge. I don't know if it. Well, there's been some deaths in the celebrity world.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
beloved Teddy Huxtable, Malcolm Jamal Warner, the actor who played Teddy, he passed away at the ripe old age of 54 after drowning, very tragic, in Costa Rica on vacation with his family.
Yep. Yep.
So sad. Ozzy Osbourne, the rock and roll artist, reality TV show, with his family, with Sharon and the kids, with Jack and Kelly. He
Yep.
passed away. He just, it's so funny because I think he was only 70. He was 71, and they said that I think he had performed one of his last shows. He was kind of doing like a retirement show,
Yeah.
concert tour, and I think a week or two before he passed, he did a show. Sorry, he was 76 when he died, and he died like a few weeks after that. But the thing is, if we watch that show, just forget. I don't know his music
Me
like that,
neither.
to be honest, because it's like, it's very associated with the dark arts and stuff, so I wouldn't listen to it anyway. But his TV show made him very approachable, and to be
Yeah.
honest, the way they described his life and how he was even on that show. I don't know if he had Parkinson's or what is. He was shaky. I don't know what it was, but the fact that he even lived this long after I was saying that show was like at least 15, maybe almost 20 years old. That reality show that he had with his family, and I couldn't believe the man was living then. So,
Right? He looked old
so
then.
he
He
lived.
looked like
He
he was
lived.
70 odd then, man.
He did
Jeez.
pretty good because I was like, "How's this guy standing right now?" Based
Right?
on the life that he had and the amount of drugs that he said he took and everything, and acid and stuff. So, um, yeah. So Ozzy's gone. He's left us, and finally,
Yeah.
the controversial one. Whoo, Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan, the wrestling icon from the WWF, he died of a heart attack at the age of 71. He died at 71. And it started a lot of discourse, because some people, like, especially in the black community, I would say, because some people, a lot of us black kids, even me, as a girl, I watched it. Was on Saturday. It was the
Yeah.
on the same time as a cartoon, so I got into a little bit of the wrestling drama, and Hulk Hogan was my favorite. The yellow, the beard, I don't know
Yeah.
what it was, but he was a character that really stood out.
Because
But
a lot of people compared him to Ronald McDonald.
that's
Yeah,
funny.
no, like in terms
As
of
a
the
child, thinking of
iconic,
as a, yes, yeah,
yeah, the
yeah.
iconic colors, the
The
iconic
colors, yeah,
colors,
there's something that was bright. It was something about,
yellow, reds.
he
Yeah.
definitely made an interesting character with the Hulk Hogan
Yes.
wrestling
Yeah.
character.
That's
And
why he's
so,
compared.
but he, in recent
But he was a
years with
damn
Trump,
joke, if you
yeah,
ask
with
me.
recent years, he's proven to be very racist against black
Yep.
people, an avid Trump supporter, which is fine, whatever. But I think it was more the racism. I mean, I think you can be a Trump supporter without being racist, but unfortunately, there is a strong correlation. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, and so there are some people like, oh, I didn't, oh fuck, I don't have the quote in front of me, but Wayne, one of the Waynes, Marlon Waynes, was trying to like big him up, and some black people are like, what you doing? But he was trying to say, well, you know what, yes, I want to separate the icon from all the negative stuff, da da da.
Because he was an icon.
He
He
was.
was,
I myself, and say, I'm saying it here right now, even with the conflicted, I can acknowledge
right?
that Hulk Hogan was an icon.
He definitely was. In the
But
wrestling world, he was the icon. He was the Oprah of the
of
of the wrestling world.
WWF. Yeah,
He
I
was.
can.
And I'm not, he's a racist shit. Yes, we all
Mm,
know that. However, let's not take away his accolades. He earned them. He earned them. He made himself very popular. He marketed himself very well. This man had his own doll at one point. Like, everybody loved Hulk Hogan. Now, is he a racist pig? We later find out, yes, he's a
We later
racist
found out.
pig.
Yes, yes.
However, he did do what he did. He did. He did what he did. And he made wrestling popular. He did.
Hmm.
I'm not going to take away from all the other people that also, Andre the Giant, like all of
Yeah, that
them.
was a
Like,
big one. Yeah, that was a
you
big
know what
one.
I'm saying?
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Which he died tragically,
Mm-hmm.
which was so sad. I remember when he died, and it was a big deal because he died during performing a trick, I guess, in the ring.
Is it him or his brother who died with the trick? Because remember
Was
there
it
was two.
Bret Hart? Was it
There's
Bret
there was
Hart?
two
Bret.
hearts, but I
Yes.
think it
What?
was the other
I think it
brother.
was the brother. Yes.
It's the
Sorry, but
brother I
it's
think
the
you're talking
brother.
about.
But you see the two of them. Everybody to this day still talks about them.
Owen
So
Hart.
right, and so I
Oh,
can. I
they're
can.
Canadian.
Yes, that's what. Yes, yes, they were. It was a big, big thing. I remember, especially here in Canada. And I remember it was almost like around when Princess Diana died, like in that
Mm,
same
mm,
maybe 10 year, 5 year situation. I don't know. I
mm,
remember there was a lot of, as a child, I remember that being a big deal. But
mm,
anyhow, nonetheless, Hulk Hogan, he did his damn thing, and you know, we have to give it. Listen, he was a racist pig, but he did what he did for the wrestling Hall of Fame, and for wrestling in its entirety, and he made it popular. People wanted to see him. People came out. People bought tickets. Like, I'm not gonna say he was the only one because he wasn't, but
mm.
he did the damn thing. He did. So I know everybody wants to be mean about it and stuff. Like, we know he's a racist ass. We get it, but I don't think it's fair to take away someone's accolades. Like, I don't feel like that's fair. And if you do think it's fair out there, listeners, then just remember that, have that energy when we're talking about our own. When we're talking
Mhm,
about black people, when we're talking about, you know what I mean,
mhm,
up to date culture, when we're not talking about racist people, keep that same energy, because some people out here, you know, they can't do anything without us stripping them of everything, and it's just not fair. Like, I just
mhm,
don't think that's fair. But anyhow,
mhm,
Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. Ozzy Osbourne, like, I don't know about no Ozzy. All I remember was the show. That's
mhm,
it. I don't remember
mhm.
any of his music.
Yeah,
I knew
because
that
he
he
was
was
really
into
big
dark
in like
stuff.
before he was like big before we were even
Yeah,
born.
like
So
in the 70s, late
yeah,
70s, early 80s and stuff like that. He was a big deal. I
Hmm.
don't know his music. A
No,
lot of people said a lot of that he had a little racist bone in his body too.
yeah,
Okay, but yes, so we won't take away the fact that he did the damn thing in his realm.
mhm.
He did. So Ozzy Osbourne was sorry, but you're gone. Malcolm Jamal Warner, I'm still
That
listening to
hurts. That
see,
one hurts. Yeah,
because
and it
I
was
don't
such a
know. There's
tragic
something
way,
sketchy about that. How he died. There's something
and it's such a
sketchy.
tragic way that he died,
And with
drowning.
his daughter,
Mm-mm.
his 8-year old daughter was swimming with him.
But the thing is, okay, you haven't been so Costa Rica. I've been there before. In the waters, there's two sides. The side that he was on was actually the Caribbean side, Limon. And so the time that I went, I was on the Pacific side. So the
Right,
Pacific side, the water is very, 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 very rough. Like it's like for more for surfing, for people who want to ride the big
right.
waves. It's not really conducive to you just wanting to do a chill swim in
Hmm.
calm waters. The waters are not calm on the Pacific side. The Caribbean side is more pretty, but it's still, I think, because of the location of the country,
Right,
the waters are very, very. There's some beaches where the waters are like so. It was a riptide, I think they called it,
right,
um, which is very aggressive. I seen it when I went to Mexico as well. But to me, you could see it because you're seeing the water come up so far up
right,
and
right,
it's so you're just like NASA. If I stand near that water's gonna draw me in. So there's certain water that I'm not even gonna go near.
right. No
Like it can even
shit.
go so high on the beach, and you could
Right,
tell usually because you can see where it hits the sand is smooth, so you know the water is reaching there. So don't sit there or stand there because the water can come up that high.
Right?
Um, but yeah, I don't
Something
know.
just doesn't feel right with that scenario.
Yeah, but in the same breath, what I brought that up is that I could see that could happen if I don't know if that was his first time there or what, but if you're not an experienced person with like ocean water,
Right.
yeah, you're gonna drown. You're gonna
Right?
drown. That water is not to play with. Certain
See?
kind of water, I'm not even gonna go near.
And that's why I'm like, why would
But I'm
his
saying, like,
8-year-old
nobody
daughter be
told him.
there?
The thing is, usually, like, when I went to Mexico, and I went to this cove beach on the island, and they had guys there. I don't know if they're paid or what, but they had guys who be like, "Don't go in that water because the water will is not for like you can't go in that water. It's gonna take you away."
Right.
I mean, personally, I saw that, but it's good they had people to tell you. So, was there nobody around where Malcolm Jamal Warner
No,
was? No
no,
lifeguards to
they've
be
been
like,
saying
yeah, no, this is not the time to go into this water.
they told him, but he obviously did not
They
listen.
told him. Is that what this story?
Yeah, that's what the story is. That's why I'm like, this don't sit right with me. This just doesn't
Yeah,
sit right.
because they told him. But so if we
So
go with the
people had
story,
warned him. Even
okay,
his mother told him.
don't
So
go in the
why would
water.
he go against that and bring his 8-year-old daughter? See,
Yeah,
that's the puzzle piece that
it's
just
one
doesn't
thing
make
if
no
you
sense.
do it for yourself because you want to play what
But
do they
as a
call it?
father,
Daredevil, but not with your child.
that's what it doesn't make sense to me. I know sometimes listeners, I might be on a conspiracy trend, but this don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. The man's mother told him not to go. The people on the beach told him not to go. But he's gonna defy all odds and bring his 8-year-old daughter, which I don't care how good of a swimmer she is. She's 8,
Hmm.
so her limbs are
And
not
this is the
strong enough.
ocean. We're not talking
This
about the
is
pool here. This is the ocean. We don't play around the ocean.
okay.
We don't
I
play around with
remember
the
my
ocean.
mom, side note, telling me stories.
Hmm.
She's from Jamaica, which
Hmm.
is surrounded by water. Okay,
Hmm.
and even as a child, they were told, "Don't go near the ocean. Stay away from the ocean. Don't go
Yeah,
in there. The
because there's
tide is
lots of
high."
stories where people drown in sinkholes and stuff.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, and they're from an island where they're surrounded by water, so they're
Hmm.
taught from very young, don't bother with it.
Hmm.
So I don't understand how this man would defy all of what he's been told, not just for himself, but for his child. It don't sit right with me, people. But either way, Malcolm Jamal Warner is still gone. I'm not feeling
Mm.
I'm not feeling like this is all that really happened.
It's very odd.
It's very strange.
Hmm.
It's very strange. And even if he was a really good swimmer, it doesn't matter what kind of swimmer you
You
are.
are with the
That
riptide.
ocean water, it's
It's not
like
even
fighting a
regular. It's
beast.
ocean water that's in a riptide.
Oh, fighting a beast.
A beast.
Okay? A beast that you're
People don't.
outnumbered.
Yeah,
Oh,
even surfers. There's only a couple of crazy surfers who would try and tackle that. But generally, you're supposed to stay clear of a riptide.
but even the surfers, they have a surfboard that will keep them afloat. Okay?
Mm.
They have it strapped to their leg. So it will always keep them afloat.
Mm.
The board will always
Yes,
bounce
true.
up
They have something to hold on to. Yeah, I
to
hear you.
hold them up, to bring
Yeah,
them
true.
back to the
I
surface.
hear you. Yeah, that's
But
true.
this is just a man and his 8-year-old child swimming. Listen,
NASA.
it not make sense, Regin. It not make sense. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground with that.
Okay, so
In
we'll
the
move on.
meantime,
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
to Malcolm Jamal Warner and everybody else.
Yes,
Next,
prayers up to your family who's dealing with your
yeah,
loss, because
big
I know his
loss.
mother is just beside herself. She's just
Mm-mm.
beside herself, you know. But yeah, yeah. But me not know, you know. People that know want go out and I did me nah sabas. I stay right at the ocean bank. You hear me?
Yeah,
Right in the front where everybody can
at the
see
front.
me.
The minute the tide, the waves feel a little rough, I'm
A little
gone.
wrap it up. Let's
Once they
go.
start, the minute they hit me a little too hard,
A
I'm
little
gone.
too rough on my back, Bridget. I'm like, let's go. It's enough. Come back
We shouldn't
next
be.
time.
Yeah, Yeah, don't take any chances out there.
No, no,
Okay,
you gotta
so
be careful.
another, just to lighten it up a little bit, Beyonce recently wrapped up her tour, which was amazing because on her closing show in Las Vegas, she walked out with the girls from DC,
Right?
Destiny's Child, Kelly Michelle, were with her. I don't know if they closed out the show, but they had a moment, and I was happy to see that. It's one of the debates is that some people, even though I'm convinced that Beyonce's third album is a rock album, there's another debate where people are saying that it's going to be Destiny's Child. But I feel like she'll do her album, and maybe there's a Destiny's Child reunion. I don't know if she would mix up Destiny's Child with the mission she set out with these three
No,
albums.
she's trying to retire.
Yeah,
She's trying to
exactly.
retire in her own career. So I don't
Yeah, so
see
that's why
why
I
she
don't
would
see that. I don't
bring
see that.
them.
But it is a
No.
theory, but I personally, as much as I love DC and I would love to see them do that, I don't think that was the mission she set out with these
Yeah, but
projects.
how Michelle tired of talk about Beyonce in every damn, or not Michelle, sorry, Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly has, listen, Kelly tired of answer about Beyonce. Hear me? So guess what? If you do a reuniting tour, wherever the hell, listen, Kelly, you will never have an interview again without them talking about Beyonce. So I think right now, let Beyonce finish her career, and maybe you can step in the forefront. Maybe you
I
could
think
come.
they'll do it, but not right now. To your point,
Maybe, but I just don't think, I don't see Beyonce like retiring her career as a singer with Destiny's Child.
I'm with you. That's what I don't
I
agree
don't.
with it. I don't agree with it. I think some people have wishful thinking, but I don't see
Yeah,
that happening. I don't
yeah, and I
see
don't
that.
know if Michelle has those pipes still. I don't know. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
she can sing. She can. She's an
She
amazing
can,
singer.
but I don't know like back when. Because, well, okay.
I'm a
Let me
well.
give some
Let me
drink.
say this. Maybe we don't. I'm actually a big fan of her voice. I
I
think
love Michelle. I love her voice, but I think
she's on Broadway right now. Doing Death Becomes Her. She does a lot of live singing on
okay, as long
Broadway.
as
She's
she's
done.
keeping it up,
Yeah,
because the
she's
last
keeping it
time I
up. She
heard.
does a lot of Broadway shows. That's kind of how she's been paying the bills.
Oh, okay, because the
Um.
last time I heard her, I was like, I know that they were probably on a stricter regimen
Mhm.
back when they were
Oh
Beyonce's
yeah, yeah,
child.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So that for me was like her peak. But from what
Hmm.
I heard, like as of late,
Mm.
I just heard her, a little clip, just, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, but
okay.
she's on Broadway, so her chops are up and going. I've heard her. I think she sounds amazing. But she's a more delicate person. But I'm just saying, if they want it, I love it. But me personally, it's okay if they don't need
Beyonce
her.
ain't doing that. No, mm-mm.
I don't think not for her last album. No,
No, no.
I think they will do like a tour or do something small for the fans. But I don't think it's going to be her third act. No,
I think
absolutely.
that what would be really nice is if she were to take all the genres and put them on one album. That's what I think would be really like really wow. You'd see her range. So have
I
one album that has rock, that has country, that has reggaeton, that has because she's done all of them.
She has. I think I'm good with the Rock. I'm good with the Rock only. I think she's gonna kill that. I think she's gonna
I
knock that
don't
shit out of the
know. I
park.
don't know because rock is a thing, boy. Easy
But
rock.
it's so versatile because there's so much rock. There's blues rock. There's the old rock from
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
which I
like
think she
no.
might do. I think she's gonna dabble in all the different because rock is so big. Let alone the rock from the original black artists, but even rock like the rock that Tina Turner did, like the big concert rock, the '80s rock, or even
It would
like
have to be easy rock. It'd
yeah.
have to
I
be
don't think
easy
she's gonna
rock.
do more than easy rock. I think she's gonna do more of a bluesy,
Yeah,
funky type of rock.
yeah.
But I don't
Okay.
think she'll get more aggressive than like if she does do a metal song, it's going to be a token metal song.
Yeah, and she'd have to call somebody on that
And
one.
she's going to call like what's the guy from Guns N' Roses slash the biracial guy or Lenny Kravitz. She's
I can
still going
see
to
her
make
with
it
Lenny.
blackety
I can
black
see
either
her with
way.
Lenny. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see Lenny.
She's
Yeah,
going to make it black as hell and that's
yeah.
why we love her. Anyway, so she wrapped up the tour going on a tangent. And Cowboy Carter, she wrapped it up, brought the girls on stage and she broke a couple of records with this tour. It was a
Wow.
32 show run, which is just about more than half of the shows that she did with Cowboy Carter. Because sorry, Renaissance. So Renaissance was she did 56 shows, and this show she didn't come here, so I know it was a lot less shows. 32 shows, 32 dates. So she got this tour broke the record for the shortest tour to gross over $400 million and the highest grossing country tour in Billboard box score history.
Wow.
So when I tell you that Beyonce said and what to the country
Okay.
community,
What's the
when the
problem?
numbers, she didn't say nothing actually. The
What's the
numbers did all
problem?
the talking.
What's the problem? Look at the
And what?
numbers.
The numbers
Oh, okay.
okay.
Right? Like,
Not that they're gonna pay it in mind. They're trying to probably gonna ignore it or try and illegitimize it, but it is what it is. The number is there. So
well, I'll be interested to see what she does next.
yeah.
Miss
So congrats
Beyonce.
to her. Looked like an amazing show from the little clips I've seen. You know, she's a quintessential perfectionist, so I don't expect anything less. Her life was in danger a couple of times with the car, one of her arms on tour. We saw a few scary incidences, but kudos to her for still, grinding it out and giving 110% in every show.
You know, one thing I would love to see. What does Beyonce do after a tour like this? Like when the last show that she performs, like does
I
she go home and like rip off her wig and go crawl up in a bed and eat ice
I
cream?
would
Like
I
what
would
does
me
Beyonce
if it
do
was
after a
me,
tour
if
like
I
this?
was her, even though I know she has her kids and stuff, I would be listen, when I get home, I'm gonna be in bed for a good 3 days straight. Like
Yeah,
just and luxuriating in the fact that I'm in my home and I can stay in my home. I don't have to jump on a plane or stay on
right?
a bus or like you know what I mean? It's like I would think she probably crashes out for at least a week. And I say
Yeah.
crash out like I mean she's just home
Heavy
comfortable.
sleep.
Sleep
You
in her bed like
just
getting
get up
rest.
to eat and piss. That's it. Like get up to pee and go to bed. And
Yeah, she might
like
even
I
send the
could,
kids away, or she might
yeah.
even not go home yet.
No,
She
I
might
can
just go
see
and
her having her mom there, and her mom's just like, "Mom, take care of these children for me, please."
yeah, while she
Like
decompresses. I
I
think
just
you'd
got
have to do
home.
that. I think
Don't
it'd be
nobody talk to
healthy.
me,
The healthiest thing to do, I think that would be the healthiest thing to do is to like you take a few days to yourself, and I would say it need to be minimum of 3, but I hope it's a week of just
Beyonce. I would say a
decompress.
week. Like you have to. I heard in one of her concerts she had 90 um dress changes.
Yeah, she
So what she
changes a
was
lot.
wearing, she changed it 90 times in one blasted
Damn,
show.
that's a lot.
Imagine when you go to try on the little one two dress
And
when
I
you go
think
go
that's why
when
she
you go
did a
shopping.
smaller tour, I think this
Okay,
year cuz
Miss Beyonce.
Renaissance was crazy. So I think that's why she did like a smaller tour, like a tour that's not maybe it's going to be grueling, but at least be it grueling for less amount of days, you know what I mean?
Right?
So
Yeah.
yeah, congrats to her. We'll move on to okay, this is a mix up and blah blah as they say.
Yeah.
So Nicki Minaj went on a tirade for a lot of things and
Crashing out.
crashing out on Twitter about various things. There's stuff about Jay Z, Megan, the whole of Rock Nation, which we know she has beef with Rock Nation because she believes they owe her money for the title deal, and she's probably right. But
I think she's right.
there's better ways. I mean, this is not the first time she's brought it up. But it was very much like, why did this trigger you now to go on and on? I mean, I'm sure there was reasons, but I think sometimes it's like, Nikki, you're a big woman now.
Ah,
And even if you want to bring attention to things, let's be coherent. Let's be coherent. Let's not be rude and nasty.
Lord.
Anyway, this tirade kind of blended into a drama that she was having with the head of TDE, which is Kendrick Lamar's old label, SZA's label that she's on. Dochi's on that label. Schoolboy Q, a bunch of other really talented artists are on the TDE label, and he now has a new R&B girl. I don't know if she's a rap girl or R&B girl, but so before we knew that he had an artist that released a song, or what triggered Nicki, Um,
To
she
crash
just
the hell
she
out.
went in. So she went on
Golly.
accusing him of online bullying, claiming it was, and after digging, she claimed it was retaliation for that he was bullying her online as retaliation for rejecting his business proposals in the past to collaborate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um
I kind of
she
believe her though.
No, the thing is with her, like, even though, even me, because I'm a ride or die, but I think sometimes the delivery is too chaotic, so people
Yeah.
don't get her message. But I think we me and a lot of other people have proven to she's usually has the
She's
story
not
comes
lying.
out later. She's not
Yeah.
lying. She has reason to be upset, but how she expresses it at this stage in her career. I'm saying
Mhm.
if she was a younger artist and she,
Yeah.
fine, you don't have an experience, but Nikki, you're a queen. You've been in the game for over like
And you see,
15 years.
I totally agree with you, but
Mhm,
then I had this thought.
mhm.
When Cardi B crashes out, people don't,
Ah, that's a
they
good
let her
point.
crash out,
Interesting.
right?
Interesting.
And it's
Yeah.
just like at first I was like, Nikki, listen, you're too old for this shit, girl.
Mm.
But then I thought, wait, hold on. No, no, no. Because when other people that might not look like Nikki
Yeah, that's
crash
true. That's
out,
a good point.
they allow them
That's
to,
actually a very,
right? And
very
here's the thing with
you're
Nikki,
onto
because
something there. You're onto
people
something
know
there.
how I feel about Nikki from the rip,
Yes, yes,
okay?
yes. She's not Nick. She doesn't love Nikki like me.
No, I don't. And none of y'all, whatever Barbies come from me, okay? Don't bother with it because I'm not the one. I just don't, I'm not, but I will say this, and I'm not defending Nikki, but I'm going to give this woman a blight
Mhm.
because often we find out the truth and validity to her story after the fact,
After the fact, it's true.
right? And she crashes out because she's been dealing with this a lot longer than we've been aware of it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I'm a so with that and that alone, Miss Nikki girl, I'm gonna give you a bly. This
Mhm.
one damn time, I will give you the bly.
Well, this is very rare. A very, very rare
Everybody
thing.
take note, okay? Because it might not happen again. But I'm gonna give her a bly because I was 100% on your side, and then I started to think, and I'm like, wait, hold on a second. Wasn't Cardi B just on the internet crashing out about Offset? Wasn't like
Nobody was on here calling
nobody
her
was on her
crazy.
jock. Nobody was. As a matter of fact, I think it was actually a really awesome strategy that Cardi has.
Mhm.
She's never not crashed out. Okay,
Mm.
she's always crashing
It's a
out.
part of her brand.
It's her brand. Crashing
Mhm.
out is her brand. And people have accepted it so much that we kind of turn a blind eye when she's doing it. But Nikki, we on the other hand, we expect her to have this,
She always has to
–
rise above it. We always have
all
this
the time. And
expectation of her.
high expectation. But I'll be honest with you, people have been coming for Nikki from day one.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Literally day one. I remember when Nikki came out, and I remember what a lot of people were saying. Oh, she bubblegum rap. Oh, she don't know how to rap. Oh, she's just talking in the mic. And then people started to listen to her actual lyrics.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I never dissed her in the beginning. I just thought, girl, I need more
I think
substance.
you didn't like the branding. It
I
was the
just didn't
branding.
like the branding. I thought she was clownish. I thought she was trying to be too theatrical.
Mhm.
And also I was coming off a Little Kim, right? You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like kind of hard at that point because you just look like you're duplicating Little Kim, right? And so,
Mhm.
which she was. But anyways, that's a side note. We're not going to go
Mhm.
there. But what I saw was that people from get go had a dislike, and she really had to get it out the mud.
She
She
had to
really
fight
had to
hard
get
for
it
the
out the mud.
reputation she
She
has.
fought flipping hard. And I think the turning point is when she joined with Lil Wayne. When she joined with Lil Wayne, that's when it was like her whole world got turned upside down and we got to see her actual ability. And I think, not to say that she's not a good rapper, I don't think she's one of the best. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. You
Mhm.
can come for me on that if you like, but she's not one of the best, but she's in the room with the best.
Mhm.
That's what I'll say. She's up there with them, but she's not them quite yet. But I'm gonna give her some grace. She has a right to crash out because we don't know how long she's been dealing with this nonsense.
Mhm.
We're just finding out today. She could have been dealing with this
So
about a
the
year
trigger,
ago.
it seems, based on the rumors online,
It was the stupid song.
TDE has, yes, the song, yes, so exactly. TDE has a new artist. Her name is Lyric, and she has a song called Broken Barbies. So, which I don't know the lyrics. I didn't look up the lyrics, but based on what I'm hearing, the lyrics don't sound like there's any like
There's no attack.
there's no
I
attack in the
heard
lyrics,
bits
but the
and pieces of
name
the
that
song.
the name probably triggered her because she says Punch behind the scenes. Punch was bullying her, intimidating her. Who knows what exactly that looks like? But so she hears that, and then he tweets. He doesn't say "Broken Barbies" by Lyric. He doesn't say "Broken Barbie's" new song. He just says "Broken Barbies." So for her, knowing that Barbie is her brand, even if she's crashing out, I think it's a valid crash out because
I
at the
totally agree. And I think why can't she?
yeah, like you said, other people can, and they're not being their mental is not being questioned.
No.
So I don't think there's anything like she. Yes, we can know. Oh, Nikki's pissed. We don't know the full story, but she's pissed at Punch.
And the thing
Um,
with Punch though, and you see those type of people you have to be very afraid of, you hear?
mhm.
Because like you said, he didn't identify who he was calling out in what he said.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
didn't identify. So therefore, it could very well be a jab at Nikki.
yeah,
He left it open ended. He
yeah.
left it open ended for a reason. He did not identify. And then SZA coming
Oh, this is
behind him
oh, this is a
doing the
girl.
same damn thing. And I was like, do you know who you're talking about, SZA?
And
SZA,
Nikki
you're not
went the
strong enough for
hell.
that, girl.
Nikki went the hell in
SZA,
on her ass.
you're not
Nick,
strong enough for Nikki.
I'm
See
sorry.
me?
I'm gonna read the tweet that just. I was like, damn. I was like, damn,
Was it
Nikki.
about the freckles?
The
Oh no.
freckles.
God.
She said. She said. She said.
God. Jesus.
She said, "Go draw your freckles back on, Buki. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Sounding like a sounding like a effing dead dog." And the
Ah,
other one
really.
was, the bitch is looking and sounding like she got stung by a effing bee. Dot dot dot. Draws on my fake freckles. I
Oh
was like,
my
that's
God.
one. I was like,
Nikki?
damn.
Nikki. Okay, and you have to remember Nikki is West Indian. Okay?
Mhm. She
People
who?
forget this because you obviously she reps New York more, right? That's
Mhm.
where she was raised.
Mm.
But she's West Indian.
Mhm.
She
Pretty,
had
pretty
that
boy.
Trinidadian mother in her ear when she was growing up. You hear me? So Nikki's mouth is fire. And you got to be careful with how you play with fire. And she started talking about the girl's freckles, B. And I was just like, Nikki, don't go there. Like,
Yeah,
just
because
stop.
we're all trying to forget that the girl was pretending like she really had freckles. It's
All
there's
the
no okay. I'm gonna
time.
say this: there's nothing wrong to cosmetically add freckles, but there's something wrong to say that they're actually natural born
No, but I
freckles.
heard a clip and Nikki was saying you should go connect the dots. And I was like, that's not Nikki. That's a lie. Somebody embellished that. I
Yeah,
can imagine it being her, but you didn't give her a chance. She was ranting for hours. This girl crashed out on SZA.
she
Crashed.
did.
And it was like, it was sad to see because SZA, there
But
was,
here's what I think. Here's what I think. It was a combination of because SZA is a part of that camp,
she
but
is.
also remember how SZA kind of flipped on Drake.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of feel like there's a little underlying like
Yeah,
Drake, I told you about this
definitely,
girl. Yeah.
definitely. But Nikki came for SZA because SZA, again, I hate when people do this.
Yeah,
If
because she
you're
said
gonna
yes, she
say
did a
something,
tweet, she did a
stand 10
throwaway.
toes
Okay,
down on it.
here's SZA's throwaway tweet. So I read Punches, which I'm like, he left a lot open for interpretation. And
And
then
that's
so
deliberate because
and
he
then
knows that the only person out here that's claiming to be a Barbie is Nikki. She's
right.
had that brand from the very beginning.
From yep. Yeah, yeah, I can give her that.
She's
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
made that brand more popular. Barbie, that is,
She
made
literally
Barbie.
had a song for the
She
official movie.
remember,
They called her
okay?
for a song for the
She's at the
movie.
premieres. She's at the premieres. She's doing this. Barbie is definitely Nikki. Everybody and anybody knows that, right?
Yes, yeah.
So, and the Barbs, the whole, she made it a whole thing. So the fact that he left that so open like that, I found, for
Yes,
me,
it's kind of
it
disingenuous.
was throwing shade and hiding your hand,
Yep,
right?
which is the
And then
worst.
SZA with her dumbass followed
Mercury in
behind him.
retrograde. Don't take the bait, silly goose. That was SZA.
Don't take the
Retrograde.
bait.
Mercury is in retrograde, but don't
Yeah, but
take the
here's the
bait, so
joke. You
silly
took the
goose.
bait, dumbass. You
Mm,
took the bait, SZA. You did. You took the bait. He purposely left that comment open ended.
mm.
He did. Okay? And he's been behind the scenes trying
Well,
to
she's
bully
actually calling it out because
Nikki.
she's saying don't take the bait. So he was baiting, and she took it, and Nikki took it and ran to blood clot.
Well, SZA did too.
Yeah, yeah, you're
SZA
right.
did too. Like she did too. And if anything, you egged that on. But you got humbled real quick because Nikki wasn't playing with you. Okay. And from what I'm hearing behind the scenes, SZA's doing a lot of things to get where she is. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know how true it is.
I don't know, but the way that the girl's whole face and body changed so much in the last 6 years,
Okay.
I can't put anything past her.
Not a damn thing.
I love her. I want to believe she's a genuine person, but it's hard. That's why it's kind of been hard for me as somebody who liked her before she even got signed, like when she was independent, and to see how much she has
But when she
conformed.
was independent, I feel like she was a true artist.
She was a true artist. She was very beautiful. She was
Yeah.
thick. What's wrong with that? You can lose weight. I mean, you if you want to get fitter, you can get fitter. But now she did all this extraness. She got a BBL. She was thick. She didn't need a BBL six
Not
years
at
ago.
all. She changed her face. She did her
She
nose.
lost all the weight. Then you go and add it on by getting a BBL and getting a whole bunch of breast jobs, and then her face. My thing is the face. I think your body's one thing, but when you change your face,
And that's the one thing Nikki has done. She didn't change her
she
face.
hasn't changed her face.
Not
Yeah.
a
She's
moment.
done surgery, but she hasn't changed her face. I think your face is me as somebody who's into this, you know, this, general branding. Your face is your you. So when you go and change your face, even though you might have the same
Michelle, okay, Michelle.
we already talked about it. K
Oh
Michelle,
God.
it's so crazy because
Oh.
I sent you a clip. I sent you a clip. I
Every
saw you a
time
clip
I
of her a
hear
few
it,
weeks ago, and it's so jarring
oh
because I'm
Jesus.
hearing K Michelle's voice. I'm hearing her accent. She has a very distinct a
Yes,
voice,
she
like
does.
speaking voice, and a
Yeah.
very distinct cadence in her speaking. So you're always gonna, if you hear her speak, you know it's K Michelle. But I'm
Right?
looking at the face, and I'm like, who the hell is that?
Is that?
Who the hell is that?
It's a lie. Helion? What the hell?
Who the hell What the hell What
Because
the
I
hell
don't know who
on?
that
What the hell
lady is. All now.
Okay,
I
anyway,
don't know
yeah, I
who that
went
lady
on a
is.
tangent, but
No,
anyway,
but it goes to your point that your face is your calling card.
it is.
You change your face, you change everything.
Yeah,
I'm
that's been my
sorry.
thing with SZA, and that's kind of what has drawn me. Like, I think she's still doing brilliant work. I love her artistry, but like, to your point, you were saying that there's some nefarious like rumors
Yeah,
about her,
yeah,
and
there
now
is.
that I've seen what she's done to herself in order to conform to the industry. Then
Yeah.
that means you're basically willing to do anything.
The, and Nikki told
If
us
you
all of what
change
you're
your whole
doing.
face,
Okay.
you're willing to do anything.
Right? Nikki told us all what you're doing.
She was a
So,
beautiful girl,
and
and you
and and talented too. Like that's the
always,
part.
always. That's never gone anywhere, to be
She's
honest.
always been talented. And to be quite honest, I thought she looked better back then than she does now.
Me
That's
too.
just
I don't
how
like
I
because
see it.
now you have a face. You're trying to look. It's like you have a surgery face.
You
Her,
do. And
her and
it's like,
Summer Walker. I'm so
oh.
pissed. There was a high school photo of Summer Walker going around. She was a natural beauty. I'm so pissed what she did to her face.
And the
Ugh.
fact that they're willing to conform that much, I'll give Nikki one thing. Yes, she did. Actually, I don't know if she conformed so much because at the time, BBLs were
BBL.
a
They were
big
forcing the
thing.
BBLs on people at that time.
Yeah, but Nikki was one of them who was doing
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Um, and it wasn't popular back then. So I could see, Nikki, she did conform, but she
Hmm.
never touched her face card. You never touch your face card. You could do whatever the hell else you want. Just don't touch your face card, because that's when you become a different individual, a whole new somebody. And you can see that on SZA. Well, Nikki made sure we all knew how she felt about SZA.
Oh yeah, we all know now.
And to be quite honest, like that other guy, the manager guy, what's his name again?
Punch.
I feel like that was a you tried to jab
Yeah, I
Nikki.
think he did it. It was a jab. It was a
Yeah, it
jab.
was. It was a jab, and you hid your hands, and then you caused SZA to take the brunt of what was for you, because I nearly had a stroke when I heard Nikki talk about the woman's freckles. Okay, and I was like, I saw the freckles. Hey, whatever you want to do to your face. Listen, let me just put this out there. What you want to do with your face and your body is your prerogative, right? But I too have a prerogative of having my own opinion once I see said face and said body. And I thought that the freckles was a little much. Is a little much. You could be a little bit
Mm.
more subtle with that. I thought it was a little bit too much. I think she was just trying to be different, but it didn't quite pan out. You know what I mean? Like, she did too much, because I saw the pictures. I saw the pictures, and
Hmm.
I was like, Nikki, wow, she had no chill, none at
No,
all,
no, no, no.
none.
She had
And
no
SZA
chills
just
when
had
she
to
went on
bow
that
out gracefully,
tirade a few weeks ago. It was she was including the Rock Nation ones. I was like, damn,
right?
ooh, what woke her up?
Right?
Something I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So we're gonna move on from that. We'll see where this
Yes.
goes. One thing that like Kim says, like we said, it always sounds crazy at first, but the receipts always pop up. So we're gonna wait for the
Okay.
receipts to
I
kind of got
believe
to
Nikki,
give
because
the
I don't think she'd
backstory.
lie.
No, I don't think she'd lie.
I
There's
don't think
something there,
so.
but she's not. We don't have the full story yet. All right. So finally, before we get into our segment, we want to acknowledge that
Yes.
our one of my faves, my favorite rapper, one of my
Yep.
favorite rappers, he's
Yep.
definitely in
For
my
sure.
top
For
10.
sure. Yep. Top five.
Buster Rhymes.
Yep.
Buster Rhymes was awarded a s- a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Wow. Go
He
Buster.
received he received the 2,818th star. And he was presented to it by LL Cool J, Chuck D, and
It wasn't
and
it
Chuck
Dre?
D
Yeah, Dr. Dre, wasn't he there? Yeah,
and
I think
Dr.
he was
Dre
there.
was there. Yeah, I
I
don't.
think
Yeah.
so. Um,
And so yeah, so it was his, and this is his 2025 is his 30th year in the business.
wow, wow. Go ahead, Busta Rhymes. You deserve it, man.
Yeah, and he's been acting. He's in the new Naked Gun movie. He's done I've seen him in other movies too, but yeah, I think it's just I'm assuming it's for his full career, which
Right?
is illustrious. He was a game changer. We talk about
What?
music. There's a lot of artists. There's a lot of talented people in the world, whether we know them or not. But my thing, there's something special about a game changer. Even if they fell off, even if they only had one or two songs, if you did something to change the game,
Right? Which
that's
Buster did.
you're elevated. You're already elevated
Yeah.
because you didn't come in and conform like we're
No.
talking about
No.
conformance here.
No.
You came in and changed the whole script.
Yeah.
And with Busta, I would say it's two big things. First of all, it was his style, his flow, his style, because he's actually of Jamaican background.
I was
I don't know.
just gonna say, make me say it, yeah,
Let me
because
see. Let me
make me
see it.
say it. The man is Jamaican
And I think
descent.
and he flow and that I think that plays a big role in his style of how he raps.
Definitely.
And again that makes him very distinct. He has a very unique. You always know it's bus when you hear the rap, you know
Yep.
it's Busta Bus, right?
Yep.
So his flow style was original and game changing. Second, the music videos.
Okay.
You Can't Hang with Us. Remember his first two singles?
Yeah,
Those alone.
okay.
He didn't need to do anything after that. He
One of
changed the
my
game.
favorite videos he had was with Janet Jackson.
And that one too. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
this man has done music with a lot of great people. Like
Yes.
a lot of the greats. He had an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity of working with them, and one thing I'll give Busta Bus is he always stayed fly.
Mm. Oh,
Always
fly
stayed
as
fly.
hell. Oh yeah.
Always stayed fly.
Had his own style. Yep.
You know what I mean? He is a true Jamaican man. And
Mm-hmm.
I say that because his style always spoke volumes over the crowd. Because
Mm-hmm.
everybody at one point, especially as Busta was coming up, they all kind of had like a uniform.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Especially the New York rappers.
They white tee, jeans, some kicks, maybe some Tims,
Fitted hat.
fitted hat. Busta went so far out of the realm. If he had a
Mm.
fitted hat on, he'd have his dreads popping out the top.
Yeah. Exactly. His dreads are at the top. Yeah.
You understand? There was a point where I was a little worried about Busta because he got too muscular, too big. I don't know if he was taking the steroids or what,
Mhm.
but he was just getting
Yeah.
too
He did.
big,
We got
too
super
buffalous.
muscular.
I
Yeah.
was
At
just
one
like,
point.
ooh, okay. I mean, it was nice to see. Like, don't get me wrong. However, I was a little like, I don't know. You want the sauce? You want the juice? Because you're looking a little too big. And
Mm.
it was nice to see him at the uh awards the star ceremony because he looked fly. This is like what he's in his 50s. He looked fly. I was like,
Mm.
okay, Mr. Bus. But why do we even, of course you're gonna do it. Of course, every time he's always stood out. And one thing he's always had consecutively is a hype man.
Yeah.
I forgot the guy's
Spliff
name.
star. Spliff
Spliff
star.
Star, that's right. He's always stayed true with that guy. Over the years, that guy, him, it's like a part of Busta's identity.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't see him, it would be like strange not to have him
Yeah. It
around.
would be strange.
Because that was his personal hype man. Like he had a hype man all the time, not just on stage,
Even in
in
the videos.
interviews, in videos. Like that was his ride or die. You could tell that was his boy. And I always loved his style. I always loved his style. He was so different. The music that he put out there was never the same. It
Mm.
wasn't like, oh, that's Busta, meaning, oh, that's his sound. You hear that sound all the time. It was like you only knew Busta by his voice.
His
His
voice.
sound was always different.
Yep.
Always different. Was never the same.
He
You
could
know what I
switch it
mean?
up. Yeah, he switched it up so many times. And you
So
remember
many
his
times.
iconic rap on Chris Brown's song.
Oh,
And when he's like, I don't even know what he's saying, but he's like, "Dibidi-bidi-bidi-bidi-bidi-bidi-bidi," like every
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I've seen people imitate it, but they tried, but they never duplicated it.
Right? And he can still say these rhymes.
Yeah.
Like that's another part because this is a 30-year career, okay? Busta can still repeat rhymes from when he first came out. Like he could still hold a crowd with his rhymes from 20, 30 years ago. Busta, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. It was so nice to see because it seems like he had to literally get it out the mud. And he put a lot of focus into his career. We know that because he's told us about, not being around for his kids as much as he wanted to be.
Mm.
When was it what award show? Was it BET Awards and they honored
Oh
him
yeah,
or
that was a
something?
good one. Yeah, yeah.
Right? And so we saw a bit of Busta, and outside of the performer, right? More of the father. And just know that all that work, it amounted to something. You know what I mean? You didn't just lose those years of your kid's life for nothing. Now they can go in Hollywood and see the star that you put on the block. Can you imagine that? I was so taken aback when I saw it. I was like, really, boss? Go ahead with your bad self because he was just a different cat from Jump, you know. But it was nice to see, and good luck to you, Busta Busta, in the future. I can't wait to hear more music from you. Busta
Yep.
Bus changed the industry. He's an icon.
Yep, congrats to him. 30 years. Okay, so we're going to go to our first segment, which
Yeah.
is Lot of Mercy.
Lord of mercy, Jesus, take the
And
wheel.
this in this segment, we look at stories that we've seen or heard of, and the only response you can say is, Lord have mercy. When Jesus, you're gonna have to take control and take the
Please take the
wheel.
wheel. Please.
So here we are this week, and this is a story that's gone viral. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, well, I saw it. I think everybody saw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the viral cop cam, that the police cameras. What do you call they called body cams? Body
Body
cams.
cam.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I meant to say. The police body cam, and there's these channels where they show arrests from body cams on police, which is very interesting. I've gone through the wormhole. I need to get myself out, but it's been
Yep.
very
It's
entertaining
dangerous.
to watch,
It's
especially
dangerous.
the airport ones.
Oh yeah. It's dangerous.
So anyway, I remember the video had a like the caption. This is why I was like, wait a minute, am I reading this right? I had This is the first time I watched a body cam video, and it had to do with this because the caption literally said bodies found at a traffic stop, something like that. I was like,
Right.
what?
It was something along those lines where
Something
I saw
along
it
those
too.
lines,
Yeah.
routine. And so I was
Routine
like,
stop,
I need
found
to
the
see
body
how
in the
this
trunk or
goes from a
something.
traffic stop
Oh
to
God.
bodies. And it's very grim. Trigger warning to
Yes.
anybody with death or child death. I'll just let y'all know. So anyway, I'm going to cut it short. And in short, the police pull over a young lady.
Yep.
She's driving too fast. There's someone else in the car, and you kind of get, it's kind of like a red herring with the other person in the car, because you kind of like, is this lady involved? Who's this lady? She's
Right.
crazy. She actually looks possessed.
You don't
But
really
that
know.
lady is a distraction.
Yes.
It's actually, and when the police, when they're talking to her and she's talking her way out of a ticket, trying to talk her way out of her ticket or explain herself, the police pick up a foul smell in the car.
Yeah.
And because of that foul smell, they decide to dig up. And
Lord.
she's trying to say it's dirty laundry. She's been living in her car. But as the police dig, they finally see something grim, which is a body. I don't know if they knew it was a body of a child at the time, but it ends up being a body of a child. And the police were so visibly shaken. Again, this is body
Yeah.
cam. So you
Yeah.
hear them trying to comfort each other. They're like, it's okay. Are you okay, bro? Like literally heaving because they know it's a body of a dead child. And it was very disconcerting. Anyway, fast forward, she's even trying to, on the street, trying to say her story. But I think in Baltimore, this arrest happened in Baltimore, they
Yes.
have some rules about, which I think is good. I'm sorry, I think it's good in that when you're in the heat of a moment and it's just a police officer, he's not a
Yeah.
detective, right? It's
Yeah.
actually better for you not to talk. And I respected the cop that told her to just don't talk, don't say anything,
Yeah. But
because
she was not in her right mind.
she was not in her right mind
Yeah.
anyway. And but the anyway, fast forward, she tells the story, and essentially she was taking care, quote unquote, I say this lightly, very loosely, quote unquote, taking care of her sister's kids.
Which is
So
her niece and nephew.
her niece and nephew.
Yeah.
So the bodies they find on the car are her niece and nephew that have been in her care. She tells the story of what happened,
Mm.
and it's bad enough, like obviously, and essentially she beat them to death.
Yeah.
That's
Or
what it comes down
well,
to,
it seemed
with a
like
combination of
yeah, it was. It
neglect. They were
it
neglected
definitely
children.
was, but it seemed like how she was trying to pose it off was that maybe one of the kids, the little girl, died
Mhm.
first,
Yes, she did.
14 months previous to this car stop.
Mhm.
So just imagine.
Mm.
Anyhow, that stench that
Mm.
was coming out of this woman's car. But anyhow, the young girl, so she was trying to make it seem as though the young girl might have hit her head, and that's what caused her to die. But the only reason why the little girl hit her head was
It's
because
because she punched her.
you were
She
beating
but
her like she was a punching bag. So,
Yes.
but yeah, I wanted to set that straight because this girl is trying to make it seem like
She makes
she
it
just
seem like it's an
died.
accident, but
Like,
she
oh,
kind
she
of
just
does say it.
died.
she makes it try
And
to
I'm
seem
like,
like it's
you crazy bitch. She didn't just die.
she tries to make it like an accident, but I think she does come out and really at the end of the day when she does say it, like she beat her to death.
And she was
Um,
asking questions like, do they have the death penalty still? So she knew that she wanted to
well,
die.
she wanted to die. She felt guilt, and I
Yeah.
think that's why she kept the bodies. There is something in the fact that she kept the bodies, and when they went to the hotel room, she had teddy bear memorial teddy bears, one a boy, one a girl, for one for a boy, one for a girl. So she obviously like I don't like to say this. I'm not and she doesn't deserve any forgiveness. She did what she did. But she's also I think her family cuz she was looking after her children, her sister's kids cuz her sister couldn't take care of them
Yeah.
and her sister was like mistreating them as well. And there's obviously a case if and people who watch this a generational trauma
Yeah.
because she touches on the fact that her mother was prostituting her from a young age. And so there's clearly this family is very very dysfunctional and
Right.
these kids really never stood a chance or
No.
but it's just sad that not only were they beaten to death but before they were even beaten to death they were not being they were malnourished and undersized for their
Malnourished
ages.
is like, when I heard that, I was like, that is the understatement of a year. Okay. Because a 5-year old should typically weigh between, let's say, 30 and 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A 5-year old. The little girl was 18 pounds.
Mm-mm.
Malnourished? No. She was starved to death.
Mm-mm. And what makes that sadder is that was one of the reasons she was beating her because she's like, oh, I beat her because she goes in the fridge. She's starving. She's not
She's
hungry. She's
starving.
starving.
She's starving. And her instinctive nature, like any other human being, is to source out food. So, yeah, when we say malnourished, it's like if you're between 30 and 50 pounds, malnourished would be like she's 20 pounds. This girl was under 20 pounds. Okay. A 20-pound 5-year old, a 2-year old is 20 pounds. She's
Mm-mm.
5.
Mm-mm.
That's disgusting because she
Yeah.
looked well fed.
And
She
everybody,
looked
yeah,
like she
right?
was
She
fed
didn't look malnourished. Well,
at
we don't know.
all.
She didn't look too righted either, but
No,
clearly
but she looked like
battling.
she had enough sense to eat, though. She
Mm-mm.
had enough sense to eat. And so even the little boy, right? Even little boys usually are typically larger
Mm-hmm.
than little girls at that age, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even him, this is not malnourished. They were starved to death
Mm-hmm.
because the blow, what if you beat them at this point, right? Anything that, if the child is so malnourished, so starved to the point of death, on the verge of death, their major organs are probably shutting down. Okay, and so if you beat them, it could literally kill them.
Yeah.
So she probably starved them to death, and when she hit them, they died from whatever, because their body
Yeah,
doesn't
they don't
have
have as
enough
much
fat,
they don't have enough as much insulation with
right?
fat, and
So
so
when she
even
hits them, the punch, it can literally go to their major organs, like their heart
hmm
will just stop.
yeah,
Like this lady, I don't even want you under the jail, because under the jail is too
a lot of
comfortable.
people are saying death penalty. They want the death penalty for her. But I just want to acknowledge. So
Yes.
it's gruesome and grim. She admits it, like that we get the whole story within that. It's a crazy video. If anybody can stomach it, it is
Because it is a lot.
definitely it is an interesting watch. But my thing is, imagine how the sister must feel.
That's the part.
Imagine,
So they have text messages, right?
yeah,
Of the sister trying her best to see
yeah,
her children,
hmm
sent this crazy ass lady money for her children. So that means that this lady was taking the money and spending it on herself.
hmm
Okay? She was sending money. She wanted to see her kids. She asked to see them several times. She was giving the runaround. So to just know that this is the clincher for me, okay? In all of the situation, this is how delusional and how crazy this woman is. The youngest died, or the youngest, which is the little girl, I believe, she died first, which was 14 months before she got stopped.
Mm-hmm.
In that 14 months, they showed texts going back and forth from this
Yeah, she was
crazy chick
pretending like
to her
everything was
sister,
normal. Mm-hmm.
trying to see her children, but this bitch knew that they were already dead. So for 14 months, this woman tried to see her children, and you knew they were dead in the back trunk of your car.
Mm-mm.
14 months? The only reason why those police officers were probably able to even identify the children is because she wrapped them up in blankets
Mm-hmm.
and garbage bags, and so the decomposition of a body, it gets slower
Hmm.
because it's not exposed
Exposed
to
to
the
air.
element, right?
Yeah.
Like to the air and all the rest of it, right? Typically most bodies are out in the open and not in a tote.
Mm-hmm.
But if that were the case, they would be exposed to air and animals and all of these things, the sun, and so you'd break down, your body would break down naturally. But she had them so they weren't exposed, and so it took even longer. So by the time the police officers finally discovered them, there were still, um what do they call them again? The little bugs that come out. What are they called?
Maggots.
Maggots. There were still
Mm.
maggots present.
Mm-mm. The
But
one, yeah,
after 14
they
months,
were, they were completely distressed. The officers who saw that,
when I saw those officers, I was like, Lord God,
they
how
were
you going to sleep
heaving, and
tonight?
it was like they were like, it was bad. But
And it was a
anyway,
black man that saw it. You know that,
yeah, it was
right?
two black officers. One of them was, yeah. So
One of
yeah,
them
that's
was
that
just,
story. It's pretty crazy. But rest in peace to those two young children. And
may the
I,
Lord have
God will have
mercy
to
on your
deal.
soul.
Yeah,
That's all I
God
have
has to
to say
deal
to
with
you.
her, because
I
only
hope
that's
to
that's
God he
yeah,
has mercy
definitely.
on your soul, because those were innocent babies. But like you said, Jeanette, which was very true, which is sad, and I hope we could move on from
Hmm.
this. But they didn't stand a chance.
No, no,
They didn't stand a chance. So it's sad that this woman has lost her mind. But I think she lost her mind a long time
a
ago,
long time ago.
and I think her sister, whose children these were, was losing her mind too.
Hmm.
And it's sad to say, because the system is no better, but they would have had more of a chance in the system than with these women, which is sad. But because in the system, at least maybe they could have made it.
Yeah,
Maybe they could have made
there's
it
it's tough in the system, but at least there's a little bit of controls in there. You know,
somehow, some
somebody's
way.
checking in on them at least.
Exactly. And the government will help you up until the age of 18.
Hmm.
So, they could have made it. That's all I'm saying. We have success stories that were orphans, or, were given up or whatever. We have success stories. At least they would be alive. But either way, let's move on, because,
Mm.
and prayers up to those children, that I'm so sorry that you had to go through what you had to go through before you died and before you passed away. I pray for the soul of that woman, because God has no, listen, you don't want to play around with God's children. That's all I got to tell you, girl. I hope that God definitely has mercy on your soul, because if you don't meet God, we know where you're going. We
Mm.
know where you're going. And a lot of people wish that you just went there and skipped all the rest of the God,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
right. Mm.
just went straight to hell. But God forgives us for everything. So I hope, and I can't forgive her. I'm sorry, I'm not God.
No.
So I can't forgive her, but I hope God does. I hope He forgives you and He doesn't send you straight to the pits of hell. But anyhow, you know what? We got to be careful out here who we leave our children with.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I gotta say about
Family,
that.
family or not.
That don't matter. That don't matter. Family or
Nope.
not. That don't matter. So, you gotta be careful who you leave your children with. You really do. And you gotta be careful with be aware of how these children are being raised. Nobody saw these children and said, I need to call somebody.
They weren't in school.
They're 7 and 9. Like, come on. I know they're little black kids and nobody gives a damn about black kids nowadays. But
Mm.
you're telling me nobody? They were living in a hotel. They obviously looked malnourished. Nobody? Anyhow.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
moving
Let's keep it
on.
on. Move on. Rest in peace with
Yes.
those two young ones. So
Yes.
we're going to go into our final segment, which is what a gwan for real.
What a God for real, the biggest joke up on the episode today.
So we're gonna be talking about Shay Shay, Shannon Sharpe. Um Stupid ass Shay Shay.
Woo!
Stupid ass Shay
Hey,
Shay.
Shay!
Okay,
Dumbass.
so
He's so dumb.
he
My God.
recently settled with the young woman that made those allegations um on him in April of this year.
Yep.
And it was a $50 million lawsuit. It included allegations of rape, sexual assault, physical assault. Starting at the time when they started dating, which I believe she was 17 or 18, 18, maybe 18, around 18 in
Mm-mm.
that realm. So that's what started the mess. And during that time, he stepped away from ESPN, which is owned by Disney, an important fact. He had a show there where he was making, I think I've heard estimated at least 6 million a year for that job that he had on ESPN. I think he's making a lot of money with his podcast and his other shows, but
Mm-hmm.
that's a good check, 6 million a year, right?
Yeah.
If not more. And so anyway, about let's say a few weeks ago, there was news that lawsuit, the $50 million lawsuit, was settled. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think she got 50 million, but I
No.
knew she got a shit ton of money for it to disappear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I was thinking between 20 and 30 million, and I think you're telling me it's rumored to be around 23 to
23.
25 million, in that
Mm-hmm.
range, right?
Even then, she broke halfway. I mean,
Yeah, that's still good. I mean, considering that she entered this relationship consensually, yeah,
right?
that she the 20 million plus is sweet. So anyway, the joke was, and a few days after it was announced that the lawsuit was settled, she went on Twitter and said that she is now retired, which I actually think that was probably a part of the agreement, personally. But no love lost. She has $25 million. Who cares,
Yeah.
right?
She's retired.
I would. Yeah, for sure. You want me to stop being on OnlyFans or being a public figure? Sure. Thank you.
Right?
No
Pretty
problem. I'm
much.
good. I'm set.
She don't have to
um,
show her pum pum no more. She could
she
just
doesn't
go
have
lie
to do
down.
that anymore, right? So that happens. And then a week or two later, which brings us up to this week, I believe, and it was announced that ESPN has decided to let him go.
Mm-hmm. That was
Um
expected. I knew that was
I
gonna
I think
happen.
I think it's so funny because before, when the lawsuit first came up and he announced that he'd be stepping away from ESPN for until the fall, I was like, first of all, I don't think that was his choice. And because I think Disney or ESPN is trying to figure out, they want to see where this lands. But
Right.
because he settled,
Yeah. It makes him look guilty.
because for them to keep him, they would have had to have something unequivocally, whether it's from her or some other witness, to be like, he did not do these things. When you
Right?
settle, it's like, okay, you're just trying to make it go away, but you don't have anything unequivocally
Mm-hmm.
freeing you from those charges or those accusations, let's call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they let him go. I didn't to be honest, when he made that announcement, I was like, this ain't taking your ass back with this
I
nonsense. An
When he made that
18
announcement, I
year
was
old
like, "Do
an
you really
18
think
year
they
old
want you, Shannon? Like,
you're
relax."
55 with an 18-year-old white passing woman? No, that's not gonna fly.
Forget about it. When he made that announcement, I was like, okay, you're still trying to show face.
You're trying to show
But
face.
at
I didn't
the end of the
think.
day, ESPN is they're fixing to drop you like hotcakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think he knew that too. I think he kind of knew that, and that's why
Yeah.
he wanted to kind of put it out
Settle.
there
Mm.
already that they're doing this or they're doing that. At the end of the day, I knew ESPN as soon as she dropped this lawsuit was trying to rush and find a way to get rid of Shannon.
Yeah.
Okay?
Legally without having to give him any
Yeah,
money.
yeah, and he's definitely affecting their brand. So
Yeah, of course.
I
And
mean,
it's too that's a nefarious. It's one thing to be having an affair or a weird relationship. It's another thing to be doing it with an 18-year-old. You
just
know?
disgusting, Shannon. Like Shannon, when this all let loose, right? And we all heard about this.
Mm.
I thought, okay, fine. You want to date a younger girl, right? But
That's
can you
fine.
date one that's at
He's
least
24,
half
25.
of your age?
Mm-mm.
This girl is 36 years younger than you. What does she have to offer you? Not a goddamn thing. Okay?
Mm-mm.
What did you expect? This is what I want to ask Shannon Sharpe. If I had a chance to interview Shannon Sharpe, I'd say, Shannon, Unc, what did you think the 19-year-old was going to do? For real. Did you think that she was just going to be so taken back by your NFL career and your Shay Shay and you and Ocho Cinco? Like, you really think the 19-year-old gives a shit about any of what you've done? She's 19. What did you think like, for real? What did you think she was going to do? And a part of me feels like he thought he was bigger than the program.
He did. Clearly, he did. To take this risk, he clearly did.
And because you thought you were bigger than the program, she had to humble you real quick.
Mm-mm. Real quick.
Real quick. And so I know a part of your kink was race talk.
Mm-hmm.
When she was talking to you and saying nigger this and nigger that, she meant that. She meant
Mm-mm.
that. Because from what I'm hearing, your career as in NFL was 22 million. She got 23. So all of what you worked your ass off for to
Mm-mm.
bring you to the point where you're now on ESPN, right? Yeah, she just took that right from you at 19. You retired a 19-year-old little girl. Mr. Shannon Sharpe, what the hell did you think this little girl was going to do? You really thought she was going to keep this under the wraps? Well, Monique warned you. Monique said you need an older lady. You need an older woman. Okay? Cat Williams warned you. He told you these white women will take your rabbit ass down in one weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's a quote. Okay, that's a quote. They both warned you. And instead, you chuckling it up.
Chuckling and shucking and jiving.
The shucking and jiving finally caught up to your ass, didn't it? Wow. And I don't feel no two ways about it. I don't. Too bad, Shannon. Too
Yeah, I don't feel bad
bad.
for him. He went into this with eyes wide open.
Okay. He knew exactly what he
She
was
didn't.
getting into.
Yeah. So
And the
there you
part,
go.
the part, like, okay, again, I am not opposed to an older man dating a younger woman. But I feel like as a grown up, right? He's a grown up. He has children that are older than this girl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get on his daughter in a minute, but he has children that are old. So there comes a point where you have to use some of your logic, Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
You have to think logically, right? And you don't get to this point where you are without some sort of logic,
And
right?
there's a Wha Gwan for real right there.
Okay.
Like, are you okay?
Are you okay, Shannon?
to willingly go into this and deal with a teenager and
And
think
it
you're
wasn't
gonna
just
come out
for,
clean?
it wasn't a hit and run either. It
No,
wasn't like
no, it was a few times. Yeah.
this was a full blown 2 year relationship.
Mm-mm.
A full blown 2 year relationship. So at what point were you using your sense, Shannon? You're 50 odd years old. You didn't accumulate some sort of sense? What, too many knocks to the head in the NFL? Like, what the hell
For sure, I
happened?
have to say that some CTE must be involved here.
I don't get
Because
it. I don't get how he. Okay, she could be younger, but can she be 25?
yeah, right.
Where her frontal cortex is fully developed,
Mm.
where her
Or then
brain
he wouldn't be
is
able.
not grow,
Then he
is
wouldn't be
not
able to
continuing to grow.
control her and do all this freaky weird shit.
No, but who was controlling who?
I think he did us a lot of role play. I think that was where the assault came in, where he got a lot more aggressive with her and stuff like that as well.
I think she had the game in her
Oh,
back
I think.
pocket.
Oh, sure. As a sex
She
worker,
was fully in
yes,
control.
she
She
knew
was
what was
fully
going
in
on.
control of this. She
Yeah.
had him down pat. She got into his brain, into his kinks, into his sexual preferences, and she gave him what she wanted. But she knew that she had the ace in her back pocket.
Yes. Yeah. I hear you.
She
I hear
knew
you.
the entire time. She played this man like a fool. Like a fool. She was in control from the very beginning. And the fact that a 19-year-old can come along and control a 50-odd-year-old man like that. Well, you got took.
Got took,
Too
like you
bad,
said.
you got took. Because I remember distinctly on one of his podcasts with Ocho Cinco's, he was
Hmm.
telling him, you shouldn't get married, and you're gonna ruin the brand. And
Yeah.
little did we know who ended up ruining the brand.
Oh God. Right.
Oh, okay.
Damn. Karma again.
Karma.
Okay. One thing before we wrap. I think we're
Yeah.
gonna wrap now. But so we're talking about Wha Gwan Fah Real. Why do you think ESPN waited till after the settlement to do this?
I think they were holding out to see if he actually
Did it settled?
or did something.
Okay.
Because
But
I don't think
because
it's necessarily.
because he settled, it's kind of like an automatic, right?
Well, we all know that when you're settling, you've done something
You
nefarious
want
that
it to
you
go
don't want
away
come
for
along.
some reason. Yeah,
Well,
you
not
want it to go.
necessarily go away. He doesn't want more to be exposed.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah, you don't want any
Yeah.
more
He doesn't
talking
want any
about
more
this.
to be exposed. So for
Yeah.
him, the best thing to do is to just settle,
Yeah.
because she probably has a lot more
Oh yeah.
information that she has
Two
a lot more
years.
evidence on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and we know that 90% of the time when someone settles, it's because they've done a piece of what you're
They done.
accusing them
Yeah,
of,
it's gonna look bad either. Even
right?
if it's yeah.
So when ESPN, oh, you settled. So you did a piece of what she's saying. And a piece is enough. We don't want you representing our brand. This is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be somewhat of a wholesome brand,
Mm-hmm.
that, all walks of life can kind of, it's about sports.
Mm-hmm.
All walks of life can come in. But when you're carrying this attached to you, people are not going to tune in when you're on the air. And that's just the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so the brand is not going to take a hit because Shannon can't keep his,
Yeah. Yeah. I can't control himself.
right. Who said it best? Charlemagne the God.
Yeah.
Men,
What did he call it? What did he call it? Dick discipline?
yeah, like you need some discipline, some dick discipline. You need some discipline. And he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any,
Clearly, no, he doesn't. Because
so much to
damn,
lose, and that's what I
damn,
can never
Shannon, this is a
understand.
mess. Yeah, this is like a hot ass mess.
This is
You didn't see the danger in this
I
from the
don't
get
know.
go.
I
From
don't know.
the minute you approached her and had a conversation and found out her age, you didn't see the danger.
And
Okay.
and to end it off, my Wha Gwan Fah Real in this thing is, Shannon, you really didn't think you're bigger than the program.
Right? He really thought it. He clearly.
Really? Shannon, really? Cat Williams bigged you up too tough. He bigged you up too tough. You thought you were bigger than the program, Shannon. Wha Gwan Fah Real, you come to find out the truth. You come to find out the truth, Jeanette.
Mhm.
You're not bigger than the program.
Nope.
Okay? You see some circle now, you have to go sit down. Now you have to go rebuild. Okay, Shannon, good for you. You should have never messed around with her. And let me tell you, Shannon, if in the future you're able all of this to just subside and people put it to the side, you can never be seen with a woman that's younger than 25. I'll
No.
tell you that right now, Mr. Shannon.
No, they'll be clowning you. No. Come on now.
Okay?
He's damn near 60 now.
Because Shannon, you are not bigger than the program. The program is bigger than you. Okay? You learned that the hard way, my friend.
Mhm.
And with
Mhm.
that being said, we do hope that your hearts and minds were activated on this week's show. So whether you lead with your heart or your mind, please stay passionate and thoughtful. We'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye.
Bye.